This has been your home for 25, 26 years. Maybe you can start with that and just say maybe the history and the legacy of what you've been involved in at this institution and what you've been given to it, what you've given to it, and maybe what it's given you. Let's just see what comes up with that.
Okay.
Renos.
Sure. Okay, so I'll go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. So interestingly, I was in the corporate world. I did train with a Bachelor of Arts in Education and Honours in Education, and I also did my Master's on the Greek cafe owner community, my parents, late parents being cafe owners, the cafe on the corner. And I grew up knowing that what I wanted to do was not to land up behind the counter in a cafe. So my late parents said, get a degree. And at that time, you could get a degree by getting a bursary from the government to study teaching, which is what I did. And then I continued at university. I lectured at university. And then family members started the Steers franchise group. And they said, you're an actor, you write, you're a teacher, join us to start the training department. And I did, and then after a few years in corporate, which I found bittersweet, let's just say that, at King David High School, Victory Park, one of the students I was at university with, Joseph Gerassi, had graduated, and he was teaching history at this school. And then at the time when I had worked at Steers, I became the managing director of Steers franchise, the actual fast food brand, international franchise director. And like I say, bittersweet, I got an opportunity. He said, look, come and teach. We need somebody. He wanted someone to come here because this school has a legacy of fantastic productions, musical productions, major productions, and of for want of a better word, straight plays. And so I arrived, he had already cast Grease, the musical, and he said, I need you to take it over because of certain circumstances. And I did. And funny enough, in that cast, it was the start of a journey. One of the performers was a student at the school. Obviously, they all were, but one of them was a drama student, and that was Claudine Ullman. And I mention her because following on from Claudine over the years, we've had students in the major production who've gone on into the industry. Serena Steinhauer, Georgia Stoller, Michaela Tucker, Adam Pelkovitz, Dean Salant. And so the legacy is one of every year a major production, a musical, and also a one-act play festival or a one-act play entered into the festivals that are held at Wits. I think it was called the Raps Festival, and then it became the Feda Festival. So the school has been rich in terms of the arts and culture, not only with the major musical or the major production, but also with regards to visual art, dance, music. So we have a legacy, and I have a vision, I've always had this vision, that whoever comes through the door for an audition, I cast them. No matter whether they can sing, dance, act, I cast them because, we spend so little time at school. If you think of high school, 5 years. And in those 5 years, if we can give joy to a soul, to a human being, and that joy might be that they would like to try something, to be on stage. Of course, we have individuals who are very talented with voice and dance and music, but we also have those who are not seen. Drama and the creative arts are healing arts. They heal the soul. They are gifts, in my opinion, from the gods, plural, being Greek, of Greek origin, Greek Cypriot origin, the Greek gods. So every year we, together with Joseph, we staged musicals. The first one I did was Grease, and then we continued. So we did Grease, we did Little Shop of Horrors, we did Fame, we did Footloose, we did Fiddler on the Roof. Whatever production was available, the rights were available for, we looked at and we did it. If you go into the foyer of the school, you will see a whole array of posters up there of all the productions over the years. And so I've been here, it's my 25th year. And for me as an actor, a writer, a director, I like to believe that because I practice what I preach, and let me tell you, my drama students, when I am in a production, or when I've been on stage in a straight play or anything like that, they come with the rubrics that I use in the exam and they mark me. So we've got your rubric for feedback. So it's that kind of thing. And of course, there's this whole thing, do they go into the industry or not? Parents are concerned because we know the situation with the industry. And one of the sayings which I really find abhorrent, I'll use that word, when people say, if you can't act, teach, that kind of thing. And that's absolute nonsense. If I'm teaching someone how to act, how to get character, how to direct, how to block, how to do all those things, then best I know how to do it and can prove it and live it. That's something lovely about King David High School Victory Park, that we've got the teachers over the years in music, in dance, in drama, in art are actual artists, not only teachers. And it translates into the students, into the performances, into the passion. And in a number of instances, they've gone on and made careers out of either filmmaking or directing or acting, both in South Africa and internationally. And the most recent production is Legally Blonde Jr. Of course, part of this, we were very honored to have been selected to be part of Born to Perform and showcased as a school. Last year we did School of Rock. And I mean, that's a great example as well, because they said, how will you do School of Rock? Because they've got to be able to play instruments. They've got to be able to sing. Well, actually, you're dealing with students who can and do. Give them a chance, unlock it, and it flies.
You seem to teach by some principles or live by some principles here. And what you just said now, like you unlock certain things, and you also talked about this being some sort of soul work as well for certain people and stuff like that. Do you want to just go into that?
Yeah. So I'm sitting right now in the Black Box Theatre. When we first started with dramatic arts at the school, this was a rectangular room that was just flat, just the floor and the walls. And over the years, we'd stage a major production in the hall, and if there were some spare flats or some spare lights or some spare levels, slowly but surely I added and added and added, of course with the blessing of the headmaster at the time, Joseph Gerassi, followed by the blessings of the headmasters since then. Because at the end of the day, you do need to have a headmaster or a leader or a vision that believes in the power and the healing power of creative arts, but also not so much healing only, but also people find a home. You know, many students have said over the years, I love coming to drama because I can be myself, I can find myself, I find my voice. And naturally what happens is a lot of students who can't quite make it or struggle to be okay in the supposed okay world, which isn't, but what I'm saying is they come here and they're okay. Many times what I love, I think, the most is when we have a production, whether it's a straight play at a festival or the major production, and teachers come to watch, they say to me the next morning in the staff room, oh my gosh, I teach Mark, or I teach Emily, or I teach Ella or Rebecca. I've never seen her. She hardly speaks in class, and there she was. What a voice, what a dancer, what an actor. And I say, you see, the human being, the soul is ignited, and it shines, the light, because it's there. And the subject lends itself to that, but live performance production and live performance enables that to be shared with the community, the audience. And so you have a legacy. So we've got this legacy over the years. Before, when Joseph Gerassi was doing all the productions, he's of course now at Red Hill, and he's continued his tradition there and his vision. And when he left, I took it over, and here we are with our latest production, Legally Blonde Junior, and just before that, School of Rock, and going back to Little Shop of Horrors, Chorus Line. In fact, Chorus Line and Little Shop of Horrors we've done twice. And we were planning next year possibly to do Fiddler on the Roof for a second time, because we did that as well. And so over the years, after about 10 years or 12 years, you can do a musical again, because there's a new generation, of course. And on this campus, the primary school also has this tradition of productions, musical productions every year. At the moment, they're rehearsing for Susical Junior. Yeah, so.
I'm just taking in everything that you've said to me. You see these kids in a different way. Oh, I love that story, how you said about the other teacher in the staff room. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. What is it about what you've seen here and what you've seen in these kids that maybe no one else knows about there, that we could tell them about what you see?
Okay. By the very nature of the craft, now I'm talking specifically with theatre, with performance, either on screen or on stage, you enable the human being to go into a different body or different character with permission. And sometimes, see, I have this philosophy, I have this belief, actually, that all actors or any roles that you get in life, whether as a student studying drama or as an actor on the professional stage or even the amateur stage, you get given the journey, the body, the journey, the emotions, the lessons of another human being as written in the text. And that text might be based on a true story or inspired by true events. So what happens is the performer, the actor, enters that energy, if I can call it that, and you become that human being. And the human being that is given to you as a gift from the universe to play as a character brings you lessons that you perhaps are ready to receive in your life as a human being. That is what I believe. It's not for me by chance that certain people get cast in certain roles. So that's on a much more profound, deeper level. But also the fact that you can get up in front of a group of people, strangers, and just have fun and dance and make them also love to sing along or laugh. That's just fantastic. I mean, we're celebrating, you know how they say live, there's nothing like live theatre. Well, why do we say that? Because my heart is beating the same time as yours and yours and yours and yours and yours, and then we get into sync and it beats. And then we've had a journey of communal beating of hearts. And then we are slightly more equipped, slightly more courageous, slightly more comforted that we'll be okay and we continue on the journey of life. That's why if you're a performer as a career, you come night after night after night, and the secret is to create the illusion of the first time. It's got to be real, and often you'll go to a production, either a school production or at a tertiary institution, or even on the professional stage. And it's a bit of a payoff, because if you are an actor or a teacher or a director or a choreographer, you can't really ever totally enjoy a performance, because there'll be somebody who hasn't gone into the zone and they stand out. Not that it's, and then you the only one who sees that. I mean, others are going, oh my God, it was brilliant, wow. And you're going, yeah, actually. But that's okay, because people come. I mean, night after night after night, when I go as an Aledi judge, you know that I'm on the panel, we go to the theatre and I see the joy that people get. I also see the tears they shed. I also see the lights that light up because it tells them stuff. It's storytelling at the end of the day. Storytelling, I think, is also, just like singing, a gift from the gods. They've given it to us to have on our journey as souls having a human experience.
Thank you. I was thinking maybe there's so many people that have come through this building in your 25, 26 years that might get to see this at some point. Do you have a message for them? Just something that you'd want to say to them, that someone that's passed through your class?
Sure. So to all those who were here...
Now we can go straight to here.
Okay, so to all those who were here, who passed through these walls, these flats, these screens, to all those upon whom these lights in the Black Box Theatre shone, or the lights in the hall shone and spotted them, that experience is part of your journey. It's part of the legacy. And if it's true that when we depart from this physical realm, we see a movie of our time here, my gosh, your movie is going to be fabulous, because in that you will be there talking, laughing, dancing, singing, being, and you'll be able to say, I was there. No one can take that away. No one.
Renos, maybe it's just, can we say that this cast of 2025 will be performing in Legally Blonde and at the Teatro, Montecasino, Born to Perform. Come and support us, something like that. Sure. I think back over here would be cool.
So to the cast, crew, family, salt, pepper, all of us here at King David High School, Victory Park, the Arts and Culture Department. We're going to be on the Teatro stage, Legally Blonde Junior, our production this year. Come and watch, come and see, come and witness, come and support. It's history in the making, because for one last time as King David High School, Victory Park, we are together on a stage, strutting our stuff, singing our songs. It's going down in history, and we shall always remember it. So, let's celebrate it on the 28th of September, the 12 o'clock show at Montecasino. Wow, we're going to be there with the two dogs as well. Come along.